Now, United have come back in with a bid which may well be enough for Brentford to at least listen to. He scored 20 goals in the Premier League last season to help Brentford secure a top-half finish. Only 3 players scored more, you can see.
Right, let's bring you the latest transfer news now. You can see Mark McAdam has rejoined me. Mark, let's start by talking about Liverpool.
Manchester United have made an improved bid of more than £60 million for Brentford's Bryan Mbeumo. That is very significant.
As far as they're concerned, are relaxed about the current situation. They believe that Bryan wants to join them in Old Trafford, so therefore they're confident, comfortable and relaxed with regards to his stance. You have to remember that Manchester United last week had their initial and first bid rejected by Brentford, which we understand to be a total of £55 million. Brentford looking for upwards of £60 million. So they're not a million miles away. You'd imagine that a second offer, which we said last week on Sky Sports News was being prepared, will be a lot closer to what Brentford are looking for. Bryan Mbeumo has 1 year left on his Brentford contract with a club option additional year. So essentially he's got a 2-year deal left. So it is going to be a sizable fee that Manchester United are going to have to pay. However, he's not the only target they're looking at. They would be naive if they were to only put all their eggs in one basket, because things change in football and things change very quickly, as Michael knows. So therefore, they do have other options. But right now, it looks like it's going to be a Manchester United situation for Bryan Mbeumo.
Spurs' interest, just a spanner in the works, to quote Mr. McIntyre. Interested in him. Antoine Semenyo is another player Spurs like as well. But at this stage of the window, they are just one of a number of top attacking players Spurs have been in discussions with. The encouragement Spurs have had, Jules, is the fact that Bryan Mbeumo and Thomas Frank have a brilliant...
I think he could be. I think he's probably one of the best I've seen since Didier Drogba in terms of leading the line as a lone striker. It's such a difficult role. It's really changed over the last decade or so of what's required of you as an out-and-out striker on your own. Goals maybe haven't been as important to a lot of teams that play with that player way. And then he's gone to Portugal and he's been sensational. And he's at that age where he's just really starting to understand that role, probably now feels the stature that you maybe need to go to a club like Manchester United, where the expectation is so big. I honestly think it could be perfect in terms of what they require from that player. I think he's one of the best, certainly in Europe, at leading the line on his own.
Is there a worry, though, because he's never played in the Premier League, that it might not be the place for him?
No, I don't think so. I think he's played in England. The Championship is no easy league to play in, and the requirements physically for that league that you've got to go through. So I don't, and I think the development and how quickly he's developing, and more probably still to come, I don't see why you...
knows the manager and he knows that formation back to front. So it would be a fantastic signing if United can get it over the line. There was all this talk about he wants to play Champions League football. Ruben Amorim was very, very pointed in one of his news conferences when he said, I only want players who want to play for Manchester United. It doesn't matter if we've got European football or not. If players are saying, I want to move to a Champions League club, I don't want that player to...
Haven't they? The fans are still riding the high of being promoted from the Championship last season. They broke their transfer record a few weeks ago and they've now broken it again. They are certainly coming to the transfer table. There is a deal agreed with Strasbourg for how got to be completed before officially announcing next week. He is essentially the replacement for Jobe Bellingham, who's gone to the